Hello, my name is Alana Murphy, and I'm a member of Group 2, and we have picked Tesla for our project throughout the semester. So now I'm going to go a bit in detail about Tesla and how they apply to Exercise 1 in our Business Analytics class. So Exercise 1 asks to identify key sustainable business initiatives for our team's chosen company. And this should be something short-term that they can accomplish over the next 9 to 12 months. So we've labeled this Tesla, the drive to zero emissions, and the ultimate goal would be to achieve zero emissions in the future. But the short-term goal to accomplish in the next 9 to 12 months would be to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The primary focus with this would be transportation and energy production/storage. So this would have to do with the proper disposal of the Tesla batteries, as well as the factories building the cars, the assembly lines. Because in the US, we contain a higher percentage of greenhouse gas emissions in transportation and the energy sector versus anywhere else across the world. So that's something that us as a country need to focus on, and Tesla can take a few steps to combat that. And those steps can include implementing complete energy and transportation ecosystems. So developing things for production and implementation, creating automation so that the factories are more self-sufficient, reducing waste, and also limiting emissions. All of these steps that could be taken would combat climate change as a whole, something that our team is very passionate about. So Exercise 2 was to brainstorm and write down what A, customers, B, products, and C, operational insights our chosen company would like to uncover to support the targeted sustainable business initiative. And we can start by capturing types of descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive questions to be answered, as we did talk about in class this past week. So for descriptive, some operational questions include: what is Tesla's current impact on the environment? How much is Tesla contributing to greenhouse gas emissions? For customers, in what regions are charging stations concentrated, and how can we improve their reach, making EVs more desirable? And 3, product, how is each product directly contributing to our negative environmental impact? For predictive, we have 1 for product. What sort of negative impact is Tesla going to continue to have on the environment if nothing is changed? 2, operational. How many Teslas can be produced and sold in the next 5 years? Will this meet the projected demand? And 3, how much transparency are our customers going to want in the future regarding our own emissions and production values? And then finally, for prescriptive, we have 1 for operational. Data insight on improvements to reduce emissions in the supply chain operations. 2, product, data insight on what would happen if Tesla reduces impact a product has from birth to death. And 3, customer data insight on customer loyalty if Tesla increases transparency. Data insight on customers' likeliness to change certain habits to increase their own impact on the environment. And finally, we have Exercise 3, which was brainstorm and write down data sources that might be useful in uncovering those key insights. Look both internally and externally. And a fun tip was to think outside the box and imagine you could access any data source in the world. So we obviously would need to start with Tesla.com and their 2021 impact report, which lists these contributing values to the environment. Data.gov, that's a government agency that lists public values. Kaggle, as discussed in class, is a really great source. Reddit has a lot of very interesting threads and some large-scale data that we could pull from, although we would definitely need to look into the accuracy of that. The EPA's website, the NCEI, the EIA, data.un.org, archives, and GitHub. All of these would provide a large set of data and samples from their own research that we could pull from, as well as give us a bigger picture of the emissions standards in the US and across the world and how we can all work together to combat that. And since the prompt said that we could use any data source in the world, we thought it'd be very interesting, if possible, if Tesla had any internal documents that speak to their emissions testing, their waste disposal, and their explicit supply chain processes. This could provide further insights and give us a more well-rounded picture of what Tesla's currently doing, and how they can improve those processes. And it would also be really great to get our hands on any of the marketing research they have conducted on customer perception and loyalty, not only to Tesla as a brand, but to the EV market. Why aren't customers switching more quickly? What's their willingness to pay? All of that information would be very helpful in helping to further this transformation to an electric world rather than a gas-powered world. And with that, I conclude. Thank you very much, and take care.